wasn't working what I was doing at home.
Now at 5, how a special kind of clinic is giving people in end-stage heart failure a second chance.
Also tonight, the goodwill effort to make sure families who need a meal this upcoming holiday get one. The simple move you can make if you are in need.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5. Streaming now.
Now first at 5, keeping an eye on a wet and possibly stormy forecast for those who are still traveling for Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Tomorrow is usually a very busy day on the roads, and it is going to be messy. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking what's coming our way. Kevin.
And Mark, we can call it windy, warm, wet, and potentially stormy. This is the marginal risk or low risk for severe weather, mainly during the afternoon into early evening tomorrow. This evening we have clouds around but no rain. We need these dry hours because it becomes very wet overnight and much of tomorrow. The veil of clouds we have in place across all of the Midwest. You can see the rain. It stretches, arcs kind of from southwest portions of Missouri all the way up toward Chicago, and then it's snow in lower Michigan. For us, our rain chances increase overnight while you're sleeping. Those are the probabilities during the day tomorrow. The period of heaviest rain will be in the morning. The timing for severe storms would be in the afternoon, and that's kind of conditional on how everything plays out, whether we can kind of get a break in the rain. If we were to heat things up a little more than forecast, that would make storms a little more likely. Let's pick up this timeline overnight, 1 o'clock in the morning to 7 a.m. You see all the yellows, oranges, and reds, some moderate to heavy rainfall in spots when we wake up. We take that to 10 a.m., still ongoing, especially from Terre Haute to Richmond south. Then a little bit of a break, that at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So when we come back, we've got to finish the timeline in the afternoon, kind of talk about our severe weather hours, at least the potential for that, and then what this means for your Thanksgiving. But if you're driving anywhere in the state tomorrow, a little slower travel because of the rain.
Kevin, thank you. The coronavirus death toll continues to climb in Indiana, and today it reached a new single-day reporting record. The State Department of Health reported 103 deaths of people with COVID. Those deaths occurred between October 30th and yesterday, but the majority of them occurred in the past week, including 68 reported between Sunday and Monday. Another record-setting day for hospitalizations of people with COVID or suspected cases of COVID. The count was 3,279 yesterday. There was only a slight dip on Saturday. Other than that, hospitalizations have been on a steady climb since November 14th. About 24% of ICU beds and 72% of ventilators are still available. 5,700 more Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19. Those cases recorded between November 9th and yesterday. And tonight at 7 o'clock, we are diving deeper into the COVID crisis in Indiana. You'll hear from this 30-year-old man who survived a harrowing battle with coronavirus, plus the candid conversations with healthcare workers who are putting their health on the line to protect you. And we're talking with the experts, everything you need to know about a potential vaccine. Our WRTV News special, Inside the COVID Crisis, airs tonight at 7.
Local food pantries are in desperate need of volunteers through the holiday season and the pandemic. The Midwest Food Bank is one, a faith-based organization. Their mission is to alleviate hunger. During the pandemic, they distribute food every 30 minutes to 4 different agencies across the state. They total over 300 agencies covering 72 counties. Rita Arnold is one of their most dedicated volunteers, and she says regardless of the coronavirus, there will always be a need to serve, and that is why she does what she does.
Unfortunately, we're always going to have people who are food insecure, whether it's because of a loss of job or if it's because of single parents or whatever, or illness. We're always going to have seniors who are trying to decide whether to buy medicine or to buy food. So the need's always there, and I just am glad that I can be a small part of it so that on down the line, those people can be helped.
They say they have a strong need for corporate volunteers, hoping companies bring in a larger group of employees for perhaps a service day. COVID-19 has forced some restrictions on who can volunteer, but they love to partner with different companies to fulfill their mission. A local catering company has been receiving donations to provide free meals to families for Thanksgiving. Indy-based Nameless Catering took to social media and found there was an appetite among people looking to buy a turkey meal that could feed up to 4 people. Each meal costs $25, and people can still adopt a family on the Nameless Catering Facebook page. Just a few minutes ago at 5 o'clock, Nameless Catering posted a link on its Facebook page where people who need a meal can sign up to get one.
A lot of people want to help, like maybe they want to help do something, but they're not really sure what, and they don't really want to go volunteer like a soup kitchen or something like that because, you know, they want to be around a lot of people. So how can you help and, you know, and still do something, but maybe, you know, not around everybody else. So, you know, we just fired this idea up. I mean, the thing is that pandemic or not, I mean, every holiday season, there's people that need help, right? I mean, and so I'm not wholly opposed to doing this again for Christmas.
Each person who signs up will get an email with instructions on where to pick up their meal. It will be a drive-up pickup. To get your meal, you must show the email you received from Nameless Catering.
A specialized clinic in Carmel is unlike any other in the state, helping patients with heart disease and diabetes. WRTV's Alyssa Donovan explains how one Indiana man was given a second chance at life.
When I first was in the hospital, I was almost 340 pounds.
Ted Meadows spent his life working in a factory in Kokomo. The 57-year-old struggled with heart problems for years, ending up in the hospital in 2017.
Finally went into the emergency room one evening, and of course they hooked me all up, and they ended up flying me down to Indy. I'm sorry.
An emotional memory for Meadows, as that's when he and his family learned that he had an enlarged weak heart. The father of 4 was given an LVAD, a battery-operated device that connects to a failing heart to keep it functioning. But he was also told eventually he'd need a transplant.
In order to be on a transplant list, you have to meet certain criteria. When we met Ted, he didn't meet the criteria for that, so he was taken off the list.
Specifically, as a diabetic, Meadows' hemoglobin A1C, which is a measure of your blood sugar control, was too high, and he was too overweight. That's when he was sent to Ascension St. Vincent's Cardiometabolic and Lipid Center for help.
I help identify the educational needs and the barriers that patients have regarding getting their medications, like with Ted.
Insulin, I mean, a 3-month supply, even with my insurance, was over $400.
The clinic helped set a diet and exercise plan and assisted with paying for his insulin to get his health back on track.
We have special programs that we can help them get money to pay for these medications.
In a matter of months, Meadows lost 75 pounds and lowered his A1C score.
So he's now back on the transplant list.
He says if it wasn't for the help of the doctors and nurses at the clinic, he's not sure where he would be.
I wouldn't have been able to get back on the list.
I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.
Amazing story there. The clinic has only been around for a little over a year, but in that time, it has seen a steep increase in the need for what it is providing, averaging 5 or 6 new patients a day.
President-elect Joe Biden introduced his first round of cabinet picks during a news conference today in Delaware. This as President Trump is signing off on the transition of power while claiming more lawsuits disputing the results are on the way. ABC's Faith Abube is in Washington with the latest.
A reunion of sorts as career policy officials and Obama administration alumni flank President-elect Joe Biden and VP-elect Kamala Harris in Delaware. This is Biden's foreign policy and national security team, a group that'll be instrumental in shaping American policy and lives for the next 4 years.
It's a team that will keep our country and our people safe and secure. And it's a team that reflects the fact that America is back.
Among them, nominees set to make history. Avril Haines as the first female director of national intelligence.
You know that I have never shied away from speaking truth to power.
Alejandro Mayorkas, the first Latino and first immigrant to serve as DHS secretary.
Please know that I will work day and night in the service of our nation.
Tony Blinken will be Secretary of State. Retired Foreign Service diplomat Linda Thomas Greenfield, UN ambassador. And former Secretary of State under the Obama administration, John Kerry, as climate czar.
To end this crisis, the whole world must come together.
And now with the green light from the General Services Administration, Biden could receive his first presidential daily briefing in the coming days. The unusually long journey to get here, marked by President Trump's refusal to concede an election he lost amidst unsubstantiated claims of voter fraud.
They promised blockbuster stuff and then nothing happened.
In a surprise 64-second briefing at the White House today, the president addressing neither the election nor the surging coronavirus pandemic, instead saying in part this.
The stock market's just broken 30,000, never been broken, that number. That's a sacred number, 30,000.
And then walking away without taking questions. And sources tell ABC News President Trump may never concede this election, but the Biden team says that has no bearing on his administration moving forward. Meantime, Pennsylvania today joining other swing states in certifying their election results. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
And back to the Dow, it stayed above 30,000 and closed at 30,046. As the president said, this is the first time it's cracked the 30,000 mark. Investors were encouraged by progress on developing coronavirus vaccines and news that the transition of power will finally begin. Traders were also encouraged to see that Biden selected Janet Yellen, a widely respected former Federal Reserve chair, as Treasury Secretary.
Tonight, we're learning more about former U.S. Attorney Josh Minkler's new job. He is now in private practice in Indianapolis with Barnes & Thorburg's White Collar and Investigations Division. Minkler's last day on the job was as U.S. Attorney was Friday. He earned his law degree from IU and his undergrad degree from Wabash College. And speaking of Wabash College, the private institution in Crawfordsville announced today a tuition and fees freeze for the 2021-2022 school year. Wabash President Scott Feller said tuition will remain at $45,000 and fees at $850. In making the announcement, Feller said the negative economic impact of COVID-19 is unprecedented and shows no signs of letting up.
There's been an arrest in a deadly shooting at an East Side hotel, one of 5 deadly shootings between Friday and Sunday. Metro Police took 22-year-old Richard Johnson into custody yesterday. The shooting happened early Sunday at the Budget 8 Inn on East 21st Street. The victim died later at the hospital. His name has not been released. Still ahead on WRTV, 2 former Colts players in very elite company tonight. They're just one step from joining the likes of Tony Dungy, Marvin Harrison, and Marshall Funk.
Santa may zoom around the world on Christmas Eve, but right now you can book him for a Zoom call with just your child. We're going to tell you how. Kevin?
That sounds like fun. Well, these aren't easy to spot at all, but when they step out of the woods, it's a little bit easier. We'll have your Thanksgiving Day forecast coming up.
Two former Indianapolis Colts players are semifinalists for the induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Quarterback Peyton Manning and wide receiver Reggie Wayne are semifinalists for the class of 2021. The list was pared down today from 130 to 25. Manning is one of 4 players nominated in their first year of eligibility. The inductees will be determined and announced during the week leading up to Super Bowl 55 in Tampa, set for Sunday, February 7th. While shopping for turkey, rolls, and vegetables, you may have noticed fewer cleaning supplies or paper products in some grocery stores. Shoppers are stocking up again in what some are calling pandemic hoarding 2.0. Consumer reporter John Mattery shows what stores are doing this time to prevent shortages so you don't waste your money.
As COVID's second wave surges, many shoppers are stocking up on toilet paper and cleaning supplies again. So we went to a major grocery chain to find out what they are doing to keep the shelves stocked. Jade Herzenberg has noticed fellow shoppers stocking up on basics lately.
A lot of toilet paper again, paper towels.
Inside the store, we saw shopping carts full of toilet paper, paper towels, and even Coca-Cola products. That's why many chains, including Kroger, Publix, Safeway, Wegmans, and Stop & Shop, have signs up again limiting shoppers to just 2 of many items. Wendell Scott noticed.
I saw them putting out limitations on what people can buy.
So we did proactively put a limit on those items. Really, we're just making sure that everyone has a chance to access the product.
Erin Rolfes is a spokeswoman for Kroger, the nation's largest grocery chain. She says impacted items include toilet paper, tissues, paper towels, wipes, and hand soap.
Every grocery chain around the country was caught off guard back in March because of their limited, just-in-time supply chains. This time, they say, it's very different.
You know, the pipeline of product is really strong. We're sending great shipments every day from our warehouses to the stores.
Over the summer, Kleenex and Scott doubled their toilet paper output, and most grocers stocked their warehouses with as much as they could find. The only thing truly in short supply, those wipes.
Why is it still so hard to find Lysol wipes?
That is a great question. They're still trying to react from what happened in the spring.
But as long as everyone keeps just 2 of each item, she feels supplies should hold up this time. Now, Walmart and Target have had limits in place since March, so their policies haven't changed. So always don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese, WRTV.
1 month from today is Christmas Eve, Santa's busiest night of the year, and some kids may not get to see Santa this year like they normally would. A Florida couple with a love for Christmas wants to make sure kids who want to see Santa can still do so safely. They have a lot of bearded friends, so they put together an online network of 100 professional Santas from 5 different countries to Zoom with kids. They call the website howtosavechristmas.com.
Macy's Santa, Disney Santa, Mall of America Santa. These are the who's who of Santas.
Families around the world can schedule a Zoom call with the jolly old Saint Nick of their choice. Every Santa is unique and every call is different. Prices run from $97 for a 15-minute Zoom call up to $194 for a 30-minute call with Santa for groups. For more info, go to howtosavechristmas.com. Christmas will be here before you know it. And Kevin, what kind of forecast are we looking for even just Thanksgiving?
Well, wet for Thanksgiving, of course, maybe wet before Thanksgiving, and then maybe a white Christmas. I'm thinking the Zoom thing with Santa is going to open up other possibilities, though, right? Why can't the kids check in with Santa any time of year just to see how the workshop is going?
Or what about
Santa's
like
up
the
to
Tooth
in the
Fairy,
summer?
or I don't know who else.
Now you're on to
Easter
something.
Bunny. There's so many.
See, we can have a side job. We have commercial breaks in television. We hop on Zoom and do that. Okay, 47 in Muncie, 42 in Richmond. That's one of the cool spots. Temperatures today warm enough to go out for a walk, but the key, the dry conditions. That won't be the case tomorrow. They'll be walking faster and with an umbrella and a raincoat on. Temperature trend, as we mentioned, southwest Indiana, a little warmer than the northeast portion of the state. About 7 degrees warmer in Sullivan than it is in Muncie. The gray of cloud cover, again, will hold off on any widespread rain until after midnight. Then when we wake up in the morning, it's on. Should be very wet across central Indiana. Hourly forecast tomorrow. If you're traveling, slow going with a heavier rain in the morning. In the afternoon, I think there will be spotty rainfall, but the intensity of the rain and some thunderstorms may pick up with temperatures in the upper 50s. There is your marginal or low risk for severe storms. Lafayette to Muncie south, damaging wind would be the main threat. It's going to be windy even outside of thunderstorms. There's the colorful view of what we think radar will look like in the morning. Widespread rainfall, some of this heavy. You can see through 10 a.m. and then 1. We begin to see a break as we get to the afternoon for a little bit, but we pick this up at 4. I'd say 4 to about 8 o'clock when we could have isolated strong to potentially severe storms. Then after that, we'll start to turn it the other way, and the overall coverage intensity of the rain will start to end. As far as rainfall, you see standing water in fields now. Add another inch to inch and a half of rain, we will have likely some minor flooding. We step into Thanksgiving, it will be dry. Lots of clouds around, but dry and a little cooler. Temperature still in the low 50s. There's your hourly Thanksgiving forecast, 48 at noon. If you need to get out and take a walk, have a meal, take a walk, and then revisit the table. Temperatures stuck in the low 50s, so it's comfortable. Just to show you late in the day, watch the cloud cover, the back edge of that, approach central Indiana in the evening. That sets our stage for Friday sunshine. A mixture of clouds and sunshine will end the work week with a 55-degree temperature. 7-day forecast. Temperatures after we go through Friday start to cool off for the weekend. We'll keep our eye on some snow potential, snow showers on the backside of a system. Sunday night may see some snow showers, Monday as well, but look at the highs in the 30s, mid-30s, Monday and Tuesday with lows down to about 24. There's a little winter starting to show up on the map, but prior to that, it's just very wet tomorrow and then comfortable Thanksgiving.
Kevin, thank you. President Trump was ready to talk turkey today at the White House. But his agenda was not of a political nature. This time, it was all for the birds. The story next.
Corn will not be on the Thanksgiving dinner table this Thursday.
At least this type of corn.
Corn, I hereby grant you a full pardon. Thank you, Corn. What a great.
President Trump today officially pardoned a turkey named Corn, who along with another bird named Cobb were up for the holiday honor. The two turkeys arrived in Washington over the weekend from their farm in Walcott, Iowa, where they hatched in July. And as for Cobb, don't get your feathers ruffled over its fate. Both turkeys will live out their lives comfortably in retirement at Iowa State University. The turkey pardon by a president is a tradition that has been going on for decades. Corn and Cobb there for you.
Good for them. A family diagnosed with COVID-19, the father hit the hardest. What's helping him recover, and how you may be able to help others in his situation. That's tonight at 6 p.m. And not a fan of a nasal swab to take a COVID test? Next at 5:30, the local company offering a different option that's very similar to using mouthwash.